Do you see yourself for 5 years, the next 5 years? Do you see yourself continuing to um, flip mobiles, or is there an end goal here? Are you trying to build up some type of nest egg so that you can put it into something that is going to be all passive?
Yes, definitely. And I always say, well, what is passive? Everything requires a little bit of work. But
Hmm. Hmm.
um we want a mobile home park. We want several mobile home parks, but I will say our 3-year goal, 3 to 5 year goal is 160 unit mobile home park. If not one, then maybe over about 4 parks. I don't want to get over 4 parks because
Yeah.
each one is a business of its own, but we definitely are building up a nest egg to buy a mobile home park. But do I, there are moments where I get burnt out, and there are times where I'm like, listen, I am. When we were investing in other people's parks, like the four we picked up initially, those were in a park, in a
Yeah.
corporately owned park. I
Hmm.
was ready to give up. It got the the asking price that people were calling. I used to could buy a mobile home move in ready for $10,000. When the popularity hit the mobile home space, we had sellers consistently calling us asking for $50,000 a piece on a mobile
Yeah.
home in somebody else's park where you're paying $400 to $600 in lot rent. So
Yeah.
I was ready to give up at that time. Now that we're in the mobile homes on land space, there's not a I would say the most difficult part to it is there aren't really opportunities to refinance these mobile homes on
Right.
land. I mean, that's why we're just flipping them. The burst strategy doesn't really apply unless you have a private money lender who is
Hmm.
looking for a return over a long period of time.
Right.
But I do I see us continuing this business model.
Okay.
Especially as we enter, unless we tap out every state where that fits our
But
criteria.
yeah.
I really like the mobile homes on land model, and I see us continuing to do it. And our goal is to build that out into its own like business that runs without us.
Yeah.
Um, so I hope that answered your question.
It absolutely did. I love that you're using this vehicle to later put it into a vehicle that does build that generational type wealth, but also continuing this business as well. Because if there's opportunity out there, and there's a way to keep um, building wealth there, uh, why wouldn't you keep going?
Yeah.
Especially if you could automate it. Especially if it's something that it's a business that, let's say, your kids are now in their late teens and early 20s, and you're like, hey y'all, listen, here's this business. Y'all are gonna go run that business. Um, Mama and dad don't want to hear nothing. Go
Yes,
run that business,
exactly.
and give them a piece of the pie and teach them how it all works, and coach them on the way. Maybe they're park owners down the road as well, and you've given them the opportunity to create something that otherwise they might never have done. And that's what I love about real estate investors, is that we have the opportunity to change the mindset of our children and our children's friends and the youth, of you don't have to go work a W-2 job to
Mhm.
to build a life, and to build a retirement. Um, you might find it difficult to talk to like college friends, or friends that are, we call civilians, that are not in the real estate investing space, because most of the time those conversations are, you got a good job, you're investing in your 401k, and then all the things that go wrong with like normal life, it's not really part of an investor's life. um
Mm-mm.
we work strange hours, we do strange things. When we talk about spending money, we're never really talking about spending $1,000 here, $1,000. We're always talking about spending 50,000 or 150,000. So the amount of money you spend is very disproportionate to the normal conversations. Um, I don't know where I was going with all that, other than I think it's great that you're doing something to build that long-standing wealth, and that your family is a part of it, and that you are a husband and wife team, just like me and my wife Tiffany are. And we hope to do that with our kids, We have one son and one due in about 4 weeks, so we're really hoping to build something like you and your husband have, to where it's autonomous, it's a system, and that our children's lives are forever changed because of it.
Definitely, definitely.